Celia has wet hair. Hey, everybody. All right. Good to have everybody. This is our fast track lesson 3. It won't be like lesson 3 from the week before or lesson 3 from the week. Look at that hair. Oh my gosh. Look at that HD camera, right? Look at that. My goodness, I am unkempt. Good gracious, man. Where did that limp Nicky come from? Good gracious. You know, one of the things about losing weight is that if you didn't know, the only two parts of your, I cannot see you, the only two parts of your body that continue to grow as you age is your nose and your ears. Did y'all know that? That's why my ears and nose look so big. Oh, Shirley, I did, darling. That was a rough one yesterday. I'm still paying for that one. But thank you. Celia bailed me out yesterday. You have to have time to think before a meeting. If you haven't had time to think, you probably shouldn't do it. But you bailed me out. You got us back on track. And then I lost it. And I said, well, all I know how to do is the nutrition part. The truth come out. All right. So this is fast track lesson 3. We're getting close to fast track lesson 4. Sometimes I do them on the whiteboard. Sometimes I feel like doing them like this, but every week is a little different depending on the group and what we feel. But what we're trying to accomplish each week is to take a group that do not know the Shibboleth lifestyle. By the way, a lifestyle more powerful than any pharmaceutical drug when it comes to weight management without nefarious side effects. Just know that. Trust that. So we try to take a group and install, like the Matrix, install the lifestyle over the course of the week. And then Thursday, we catch up and make sure that you've learned what you need to learn. And then usually the next Monday is a good day to start with your meal plan and start losing the weight and possibly even come back through here again. Possibly even come back through again. Because it is a lot to learn, but it is easy. You know, it's just different. And once you learn it, you won't ever unsee or unhear this. And I believe if you really are someone that wants to lose weight and live a healthy and well life with more confidence, more self-esteem, get off prescriptions, you'll do it and stick to it. You may see a shiny object somewhere out there one day, some advertisement, you'll go. Most likely you'll come back. We've all been there, done that, because this is a real lifestyle. Practical, sustainable, and fun. But it's an educational program too. It's about nutrition education and it's about behavior modification because we're going to have to address both. And, you know, I can teach you in a week or two, along with Kim Dankey's videos, you'll know what to do. But it's a different thing to do what you know. And that's where the behavior modification comes in. So after tomorrow, and you earn that fast track badge, either go on and plan on coming back through here now while you're eating off your meal plan that you've come up with, losing up to 10% of your body weight in your first month. But then let's also start working on addressing the behaviors, and then you can go into the Shibboleth journey and keep that educational process going. So lots to learn here. I don't know that we have anybody that's brand new. We've got some people in their first week. So before we get into superfoods and the other categories that we haven't talked about yet, I'm going to time it so that I don't get us off track because we have mostly experienced members. I'm going to time this. Let's take 10 minutes to answer any questions that anyone may have, because these live sessions are also meant as customer support. Since we're a small staff, teach the program for free, our way of connecting with you is predominantly in these live sessions. So any question for me? Anybody have any questions? Nutrition, program, behavior modification. Everybody satisfied? I'll move on to the lesson. Karen says, I always get mixed up entering my steps. So if you're using our journal as your method of logging your exercise, love that you are. When we're logging our steps, we can earn badges and all kind of fun stuff to get recognized, to be recognized in the community. We go to journal and we click challenges and exercise. And right here is your miles walked or your steps. Okay. So if I know the miles I walked, I put it there. If I want to count steps, I'll have a tracker, or you can basically count 2,000 steps per mile. So that would be 10,000 steps. Then you go down here and you save it. Always save. Does that make sense? Right. The app is basically your food journal app. The website is mobile friendly, but some people prefer the app for journaling their food. But it doesn't allow for journaling your activity. Amanda, I have a question about combining certain foods. If I have a sandwich, say an approved PB&J, can I eat chips, Quest chips or Wild chips? You said I feel wrong about that. It's not wrong. It's just slower weight loss, but nothing wrong with it. Sometimes the slow way is the best way, because if you're doing this as a lifestyle, I love doing it fast. I've said that before, but what I'm saying is if you enjoy a little more, as long as you know the trade-off, you're fine. The way I would count that, though, personally, I would count that as a meal and a snack. You can have snacks at any time. You don't have to spread it out. It's too small. You know, it's 200 calories or less. So you could have those chips as your approved snack, but count it as 2 eating episodes. That PB&J is a 6 + 2. And then you're adding a snack to that. So the best way to count it, not that everything there controls insulin. Technically, if you wanted to call it a meal, you could, but I would count it. Travis counts it as a meal episode and a snack episode. So 2. That's how I do it. Nothing wrong with doing that. Your numbers differ from your Apple Watch than from the treadmill. I would go with the higher to make myself feel good. I actually go with the lower number, but it's up to you. It's just whichever one you use, just use it consistently. Hey, Sandy, can you mix the collagen and fiber wise together to drink at the same time? Yes, I do that daily. Good job. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. Don't forget, during the broadcast, you can click the Q&A button and ask any question, and I'll be sure to check there before we leave today. But right now we'll get into our lesson. So if you're familiar with the website, you may have the free member view or you may have the all access view. It really doesn't matter. We find things the same way. We just look for the dashboard. So those of you that don't have all access, or if you're a member, some of our members said that they had shared, ding, ding, ding. Some of our members had said that they had shared the free program, but it wasn't free and it upset their referrals. But we had all that in process. Again, we're not a big company. So we had all of that in process, and that was only 3 or 4 days that things wasn't showing up right. So now when you go into the free program, they're not, your friends and family aren't getting pop-ups. It's truly free. They won't get any pop-ups until they go through Fast Track, take the test, pass the test, and earn the badge. Then they will have lifetime access to Fast Track for free. But if they want the all access, then they have to pay the $49 lifetime membership. At least that's the price right now. Does that make sense, everyone? Fair enough. So if someone complained, I didn't get anything when I signed up for free, then you can tell them to try again. It just took a little time. Okay, we're doing our best over here. We want to help your friends and family. So I'm going to Fast Track by going to my dashboard. Then we're going into the, I'm in Fast Track dashboard, and I go to my food library. That's where we're going to be teaching from for a few minutes. So let's do a quick review. How many perfect days does it take to get into efficient fat burning mode? It takes 2. On the 3rd day, you're in efficient fat burning mode. True or false? It is a holiday if I have 3 approved meal episodes and 1 approved snack. That's false. You can do that. True or false? It's a holiday if I have 3 approved meals and then I have freebies 4 different times in that day. That's false. That's still allowed. True or false? The most optimal way to do Shibboleth is up to 3 approved eating episodes of any type. True or false? If I have up to 3 approved eating episodes per day for 30 days, and I do not graze, I could reasonably expect to lose 10% of my body weight in less than 30 days. That's true. True or false? Losing 1 pound of body fat per week is slow weight loss. That's false. It's very fast. 1 pound of fat takes up a lot of space on the body. If you're consistently losing 1 pound of fat in a year, that's 52 pounds of fat. Let me give y'all a clear view of this. That is literally 10 of these gone from your body in a year. A lot of the weight we lose up front is this stuff right here. Once we get into efficient fat burning mode, we're losing this stuff right here. May take a little longer to lose it, but it's glorious. That's when people start paying attention and noticing. But the only way that you get there, here's maybe a bad illustration. Based upon yesterday's meeting, after this one, This may be another bad illustration, but let me, a long time ago, as a young man, I signed up for one of those network marketing things. Anybody ever done that? As a young man, I signed up for one of them network marketing things. It did not go well. But let me tell you what they did. So the way they were structured, if you signed 2 people up, when you signed, I didn't know any better. When you signed those 2 people up, the person above you, they got the fee. On the 3rd person you sign up, you get all the fee. And then you split it. Did that make sense? I'm going to make a point about fat. You can see if you've got some experience in life, that's a nightmare waiting to happen, isn't it? That's going to end up with some mad people. But I didn't know any better. So in other words, like I go sign up somebody, one person the whole month, and every bit of it went to somebody above me. The next month I'd go sign up 2 people, and every bit of it went up to, so it created a real problem. But with this, it's a good thing, because here's how losing fat works. Those 2 days that it takes to get inefficient fat burning mode, those 2 days that it takes to get in EFB, you're giving those to the house. Does that make sense? You ain't losing any fat. Think about it. It's a really cool way to look at it. Anytime we have a holiday or anytime we restart, those first 2 days go to the house. But you get excited about that because those first 2 days of starting the right way or restarting, you can drop 4 to 10 pounds. I think Brother Charles said he lost like 18 in a week. But you didn't dig into that stuff back there. Does that help you think about it differently? And then what happens, think about that analogy I just gave you with their compensation. Lauren, you don't wish that. I promise. Tell her, Charles, you don't wish that. I promise. But stay with me. So after 2 perfect days, when you've lost all that weight, then you start getting inefficient fat burning mode. The big numbers aren't happening anymore. You see? But you're losing more inches. You're losing what you came here to lose. That's why we say your first 30 days, work hard, keep your head down, lose up to 10% of your body weight in your first month. And then thereafter, it's about 4% a month. Sorry, I got the dry mouth. Does that make sense? So you can't.
You need anything? Did you use water?
No, I'm.
Okay. I knew you had to rush in, so I was just checking.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So if that makes sense, and you can start thinking about, because how many times have you quit over those scales? It looks, you think the program is stopped, it's not working. I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks, and then I only lost 1.5 the next week. And then you go, it's not going to work. How many times has that happened to you? No shame. It's just on all of our parts, a lack of understanding. Building a body is kind of like not to wink back at what some of us are going through now, building a body is not a lot different than building a business. A lot of the effort in anything that we do comes with the real blessings, the things that are blessings. It comes without a lot of reward or recognition in the beginning as we're getting that boulder up over that hill. Does that make sense? But then once you get it up there, it's like, well, it's like me. I can't hardly put on weight right now, and I love it. I love it. But I rebuilt my metabolism. I could destroy it, but it's going to be harder to do because I've spent years now rebuilding it. I always said I have a slow metabolism and I'm big bone. None of that was true. I was lying to myself. I'm not big boned. I'm actually a classic mesomorph build. And everything that I told myself about myself is right the opposite. You know, but I didn't know. I thought I had a sluggish metabolism. I've actually got a great metabolism because I've paid the price. And early on, after that initial weight loss, it slowed down for me too. And then I started understanding, oh, I'm losing body fat now. How many calories are stored in a pound of fat, everyone? 3,500. So how many calories do you have to be in a deficit by to lose 2 pounds of fat? What kind of calorie deficit to lose 2 pounds of fat do you have to have? That's right. 7,000 calories. You've got to be in a 7,000 calorie deficit to lose 2 pounds of fat in a week. Let's take a look at that. So if my goal is to lose 2 pounds of fat a week, let's take a look. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So y'all stop me when something doesn't add up. I believe in explaining this stuff so that you make better decisions. Even if it's tough news, then you don't have the wrong expectations. So the average lady here at rest is burning about 1,600 calories a day. You don't burn calories. Your body fat isn't expending energy. It's your muscle. So we have to look at how much energy is your lean tissue expending. The average lady here, if she controls insulin, would be at about 1,600 calories a day if she didn't exercise. In other words, if you control insulin, on average, you could bring in 1,600 calories a day and not gain weight. Does that part make sense? So if you're at 1,000 calories a day, you're at 1,000 a day deficit, you do no exercise, you don't go and expend energy, you're going through your daily life, sitting at the office desk, then going home, not expending much energy other than slight movement, and you take in 1,000 calories that control insulin. Insulin throws a whole nother problem in there. But if you control insulin, you've got a 600 calorie deficit. But most people here, if they eat 1,000 calories, they go, not everybody, but most, I'm starving to death. Yes? You're not, but we can talk to ourselves wrong. So now, if you did that every day for 1 week, you have now burned 3,500 calories. You're in a 3,500 calorie deficit. Can you see that? How many pounds of fat would you lose in that week? One pound. Now, someone might say that's slow. That's a lot. That means you took this much space off of your body. Gone. And all the toxins that's stored in it, gone. If you did that for a year, that's life-changing stuff. Now, will you lose more than that? Yes, because we're controlling insulin and we're eating something called blank on a plate. This is how I trick your body to do better than this. This is why my program's better. What do I try to get y'all to eat more of? It's called exercise on a plate. We've literally tricked your body with Shibboleth, and the more those eating episodes that are red column, let's take chicken breast, green beans, MCT oil. Let's look at that. 120 calories. The green beans, 50 calories on my portion plate. MCT, 120. So you've got 290 calories. Okay. 3 of those eating episodes a day is going to end up being about 1,000 calories. Are y'all with me? Somebody wave your hand. Let me know, because we're doing math. I think the people that grasp these things, they make better decisions. But here's the difference. This isn't an ordinary 290 calories. This is why you all and I got better results, because more of these eating episodes were exercise on a plate. So my chicken breast, I get lots of blood flow to the digestive system. There's massive energy being expended to break that down. You know, when you eat a chicken, you don't poop a chicken. Something's going on in there, right? The life and health of the flesh is in the blood. We're breaking that chicken breast down, and we're extracting and absorbing all of that nutrition. But it is as if we had no calories. By the time we process, our factory inside of us processes all of this chicken that was cooked in the right oil or no oil, not the wrong oil, it's as if we had no calories. The green beans, it's as if we had no calories, and possibly some studies say you might even be in a calorie deficit eating green beans. So let's be positive. Everybody keeps telling me I ought to be more positive. So let's be positive. Let's say a -50. The MCT oil has no propensity to be stored on the body as fat, and it's a thermogenic, no calories. So I took this meal and I turned it into basically no calories, or maybe even you burning 50 calories. Somebody say, bless the name of the living God. Oh my goodness. If you're listening to me right now and you get it, you just found the secret. Now, here's why knowing this stuff matters. Here's why knowing it matters. Watch this. Okay. So this time, let's do the same meal and show you the difference. Let's say that our chicken breast was cooked in olive oil. Olive oil. What category is a chicken breast before I applied the olive oil? A 1. But now that I have applied the olive oil, what category is it? It's a 4. So let's say instead of using MCT oil, I used olive oil. And it also is 120 calories. The green beans is still a -50. The chicken breast is still a 0. So I didn't change anything except for, please stay with me, and then I'm going to drop the mic and walk off. So I didn't change anything but the oil. And now it's as if I had only 70 calories instead of the 290. But that's 70 instead of the -50 from the other meal. Do you see that? Now, watch this. Every bit of that was allowed, wasn't it? Every bit of that was allowed. However, if I did that, that would be, you'd lose amazing amounts of weight having chicken, olive oil, and green beans. I'm not saying, but watch that little pivot, 365 times 70 calories. Let's say I did that each meal instead of, I pivoted. So that would be an extra 210 calories. Somebody do that math for me. What is 365 times 210? If you don't know how I'm getting that, ask and I'll tell you. I'm saying 3 meals a day. I didn't use MCT. I used olive oil. $365 times 210. And I did that for a full year. Just that one little distinction. Carrie says that's 76,650 extra calories that I could have spared by switching out the oil. And there are 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. How many times will 3,500 go into 76,650? 35 into 76,650. So I would have lost 22 more pounds just by in a year, just by switching my oil. So just by switching my oil, 4 of these. Now, I want to make a point before we get back to the lesson. Every day matters, doesn't it? Every calorie counts, doesn't it? So you have to make sure that that calorie is worth it and that you're willing to pay the price for consuming it. Even if you're having a Shibboleth approved meal, there are ways to make it even a better meal. So if you really want to move faster and still healthfully, consider everything. Knowledge is power. Did that help anybody? And by the way, there's sometimes you just have to have a French fry, and I want you to know how to have a Shibboleth approved French fry. Because sometimes you don't care about the darn calories, you care about the French fry. All right, let's go back. So today we're talking about category 6, 7, and condiments as we wrap up tomorrow. So superfood, why do we call these superfoods? Because they don't fit any of the other categories very well. They contain all of the macronutrients. Does anybody know what the 3 food macros are? Anybody know what the food macros are? Good, Chris. Protein, carbs, and fat, and water is our fourth one. So good job. So these contain all of them. So we needed their own category so that we don't combine them with the wrong thing. With superfoods, more than the others categories, there's good, better, and best. So all nuts and seeds go here. Peanut butter goes here. Avocado. Here's a peanut butter brand that we prefer, better in peanut butter. It's lower calories. Black beans, refried beans, different Shibboleth approved cereals, hemp hearts, Jif Natural, Cashigo Lean Original, Kellogg's All Brand cereal. And by the way, make sure you click it and you read about how to use that cereal. You have to use the right milk with it, because if I put the wrong milk with it, I've got a problem. Special K protein cereal, pinto beans, red beans, pecans, Wendy's chili. These are examples of superfoods, a very beginner's list, but these are superfoods. Superfoods can be eaten by themselves unless otherwise noted in the description. Let's take a look at pinto beans. Pinto beans, I can have 1.5 cups up to a cup by themselves. Nuts and seeds, I can have 2 handfuls of most nuts and seeds as a meal, or 1 handful as a snack. Peanut butter, 1 tablespoon is a snack, 2 tablespoons is a meal. I can also have category 6 with a category 2. Here's where my peanut butter sandwich comes into play. Peanut butter with category 2 bread. I can have it with a category 1. I can have, you'll see in the combination chart, I can have chicken breast, pinto beans together. But now, if I'm not eating category 6 by itself, I can't have 1.5 cups up to 2 cups or 2 tablespoons or whatnot. I have to look at the other things I'm having with it too and dial back and treat it more like a complex carb. Does that make sense? There's enough protein and fiber to make these low glycemic. Now, if it's cereal, we have to make sure we add the right milk. If you add skim milk or whole milk to an approved cereal, it's going to be Fat Bus City. Every meal replacement that's approved, a Mighty Buffin, is actually a superfood. It's got all of the macros in it. Next, you have category 7 shellfish. Category 7 shellfish goes in category 1. We took it out years ago because as we expanded our reach outside of North Georgia, we realized a lot of people have religious views about that don't line up with ours. So out of respect, we moved that category so they're not intermingled with those. And it helps to teach it better. And a lot of people have allergies, have allergic reactions to shellfish. So we just move those out. So when we're consulting, we can just say, just drop that category. Don't worry about it. But otherwise, they work just as well as a lean protein. Now your condiments. Now this is a short list of condiments. There's thousands of condiments. But let's go and look at our condiment rule. A condiment is something that we put on any approved meal episode, not a meal replacement. We don't add condiments to meal replacements unless it's in a recipe. But a condiment is something we put on a meal, like fish and squash. I want some seasoning, or I want to use a little tartar sauce, or that's what condiments are. There's very little nutritive value. Your salad dressing is something to make the meal more enjoyable. There's 3 condiment rules: good, better, and best. The best rule is no calories. Save those calories. It's the little foxes that spoil the vines. No calories. I love Walden Farms calorie-free products. Just get used to them and save the calories. You'll get where you don't like other ones, but it takes some time to adjust your palate to them. but you're saving lots of calories. Spices, seasonings, herbs, anything that's low to 0 calories, that's it. Okay? It's also acceptable to use the 5-2 and few rule. You don't want to pull up your library and you're at the Kroger, then look at that condiment, barbecue sauce or whatever. Is it 5 grams of sugar or less? Is it 2 grams of fat or less? And did you use 50 calories or less? Now, if you get in a tight and you just got to have something, you're somewhere and you don't know what's in the salad dressing or whatever, 50 calories or less of anything will get you by. As long as this 50 calories is added to a whole food meal that can slow down any blood sugar rise we would get from that 50 calories. This is only in an emergency situation. And 50 calories at a restaurant is about that much of whatever it is. So just a squirt. Not what they allow you to have, just a squirt. At Zaxby's, their honey mustard, the big packs of honey mustard has 2 servings in it, 400 calories. And that's your condiment rule. Any question or comment? Does the program change every year? Not the fundamentals. No. No, it doesn't. It grows and evolves, but we've never changed the fundamentals. Never. But it grows and it changes, and there's more variety all the time. We add variety every single day. Not a day goes by that we don't add some variety. What is a good way to eat hemp seeds? Hemp seeds are category 6. I don't like hemp seeds. I like hemp hearts, the inside of the seed. So I buy them shelled, I buy hemp hearts. But both are a category 6 superfood. 3 to 5 tablespoons can be your main protein source. But if you're using it with like a grilled chicken salad, then only a tablespoon as a condiment. Anybody else? During weight loss, is it best to not include fruit? That is all up to the individual. It depends on your tolerance for slower weight loss. Fruit is great for you, but if it's going to prevent you, if it's going to cause you to be discouraged because you ate fruit and didn't lose 5 pounds in a week, then you should avoid fruit. But if you eat fruit the way I teach you, you're still going to get great results. And you're consuming something very healthy. You just shouldn't eat it by itself until you get into maintenance. But if you know thyself and you know that slower weight loss is going to discourage me, then you should avoid fruit. But then I would question one's desire to change their lifestyle. Usually people, it's nothing wrong with losing weight fast and healthfully, contrary to the myth. But I'll tell you why it's not good. Most people that if they can't lose it fast, they're not going to try, then they're not ready to lose weight anyway. They always gain it back every single time. If you require fast weight loss to stay in the game, to change your life, or you're going to quit, might as well not get started. Is that a one-time member fee? That is a lifetime membership. Right now, it's a special. You pay once and you never have to pay again for all access, except for you wouldn't get partner access, but you get Journey and Tiger's Eye and all the variety, everything. Anybody else before we go today? Everybody learned something that will be helpful to them today? Juanita, I have been eating Jimmy Dean cup egg white, turkey sausage, cheese. I have been adding a tablespoon of hemp hearts to it because it stayed with me longer. You didn't do anything wrong. You did have a meal replacement. You did have an approved one. I wouldn't call that a holiday, and I wouldn't say that you did it wrong, sis. I would just say you added some quality calories. You didn't lose weight as fast, but you still should have got a good result. I don't see anything wrong with what you did. Thank y'all. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Brenda. If I use PAM versus MCT, is this still the same outcome? Similar. You will preserve more muscle using MCT. You might lose more weight with PAM, to be honest. But you'll be healthier and you'll preserve more muscle with MCT. MCT is better, yes. Well, MCT is better with 1s and 2s and 7s and 2s, not with the others. You did great, Juanita. Great. So did Karen. Anybody else? If I use Premier protein powder, can I use bio coffee with it? You may. Yeah, it would actually assist the bio coffee. That's why you've heard me say I put cocoa ringa with it or Healthwise hot chocolate. That slows down the blood sugar rise that we get from bio coffee. That's actually a good thing to do. Either count as a snack episode, or if you're trying to lose weight faster, count it as a meal episode. Can MCT oil be purchased anywhere? It cannot. We have it. The only other one that I will tell you that's worth getting is it's called Now. If you prefer to get their brand over ours, theirs is also optimized for cooking, and you can get Now MCT oil. Anyone else? All right. So the rest of the day, thank you, Liza. The rest of the day, we're doing the following. Somewhere around 12:30-ish, I'm going to go live, and I've listened and I've heard you, and we're going to have 12 to 12:30 Shibboleth. My first session for 30 minutes will be Shibboleth influencer training, not the wellness company. Then the next 30 minutes will be the wellness company. We've got some changes in that training. So I'm not going to send out 2 texts to my influencer group or wellness. I'm going to send out the first 30 will be about Shibboleth. The second 30 will be about the wellness company, and it will only be an hour today instead of an all-day train wreck. Sorry about yesterday. Anyone else? MCT is a workout on a plate when you cook with it. I like that. I might use that, Heather DeCamp. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how egg whites are considered freebies. Okay, so there are a few things that you wouldn't think you could get away with as freebies, but you can. One of those is egg whites. The reason I allow egg whites as a freebie is because I did it. It for a while, it was my freebie of choice, boiled egg whites. So egg whites are nothing but amino acids. nothing but amino acids. You're never going to look in the mirror and go, my goodness, I'm eating too many egg whites. There is nothing in an egg white that can hurt you, only can help you. But there are unintended consequences if you get my drift. So, but it's, if you're trying to graze and you need the extra, you're a big guy and you need the extra muscle support while you're in a calorie deficit, egg white's a good thing to do. I'm not saying that you should eat hundreds of them freely a day, but they really get me through. I used to keep boiled egg whites, and then if I got a craving, a little salt on them. I even make a little egg white, spark egg white. I take liquid egg whites and spark, and I put them in the freezer, make ice cubes, flavored egg whites, and I just suck on them, and I'm sucking amino acids. Tastes like a Jolly Rancher. Would you think mixing egg whites with a broth that is a freebie would be acceptable? Sure. It's a freebie too. You could do that. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming today. I look forward to appreciate you. I look forward to wrapping this up tomorrow. 10:30 a.m. We'll take test, pass test, earn the badge, and we'll have some teaching before we do that. But those of you that are new, begin to think through how you're going to put your meal plan together. Ask those questions tomorrow. Make sure you leave tomorrow knowing where to begin. Okay. All right. God bless y'all. Talk to you soon.